So it looks like Amazon may finally be ditching the Lumberyard engine, and there's been an interview with Scott Lane, and there's some interesting nuggets there, but I won't necessarily go through them all. So let's start with the main news first. So you might be familiar with Baggins. He posted this on Twitter just yesterday, and I think it's worthy of a little bit of a conversation. I'll try and leave a link to either Baggins' Twitch or YouTube channel. Go and check him out. Absolutely a lovely guy. Go and check him out, please. But yeah, he posted this and he circled some information on the screen. Now, I tried to find this actual posting, which I found, but I couldn't find when it was posted, so I don't know how old or how long this has been there, but there is a couple of key information, as Baggins has very kindly highlighted. So it's a senior game designer, right, for a new MMO team based in Irvine. So confirmation there straight off that it is an MMO, and they're not teasing us with, you know, some sort of gacha or other kind of multiplayer game. And then the next bit is like the key bit, right, where it's an unannounced action MMO built on the Unreal Engine, and then AWS is, I think, Amazon Web Services, right? I mean, there you have it. Unreal Engine, not Lumberyard, not Unity or something. Like, they're moving away from Lumberyard and moving to Unreal Engine, and I think that's pretty important news. Now, what MMO are they referring to here? They could be referring to the sci-fi game that they may have in the works. So it was, I think, like in 2020. Let me find it. Yeah, so here's an article from 2020. Amazon is apparently working on a new unnamed sci-fi MMO, right? So we already believe they were working on a sci-fi MMO. Is this related to that? Maybe, maybe not. It could obviously just be a different kind of game. But obviously the moving away from Lumberyard, I think, is definitely like a tacit admission that Lumberyard has failed, and they realize that maintaining it now is an absolute annoyance. Now, that may have some negative consequences for New World. I actually think it's probably positive for Amazon in the long run, but in the short term, they're probably not going to want to develop the engine much more with New World, and that could be an issue. I don't think New World is going to die any more than it already is dead. I don't think they're going to pull the plug. I think this is obviously going to be many years down the line, but one thing they're not going to do, or at least I would be incredibly surprised if they tried to do this, they're not going to try and move New World from one engine to another. I think that would be an absolute massive cluster flip. Basically, I don't think that's anywhere near on the cards, but as I said, don't worry, I don't think in the short term New World's got any like problems. They're obviously going to develop their craft, make the New World better, and see how that goes. But as a fan of MMOs, I'm sort of happy to see them move away from the Lumberyard engine, because obviously it's not gone very well, and Unreal Engine is pretty stable. Everybody seems to be enjoying it. There's a question there about the dominance of Unreal Engine, but probably not for this video. And then the second bit of news is an interview with Scott Lane. So I'm not going to go into too much detail here because the video is like an hour and 10 minutes long, right? But basically there's a podcast and Ted Price has interviewed Scott Lane, the game director of Amazon, right? I will try and leave a link to this in the description as well. One thing that we learned from that, I believe it's actually Scott Lane's birthday on today, the 6th of July. So happy birthday, Scott. Not that you're watching this video, but you never know. So there are a couple of things from that interview though. One of the main ways of getting feedback is from an expert player group, which I don't know who that includes, but I think maybe they might need to reevaluate that. That sounds really harsh, and maybe, but I don't know if they're getting the feedback before the PTR or after the PTR. If it's after the PTR, fine, but if it's before, then I think maybe you need to expand where they're getting the feedback from, quite simply, because there's quite a few things where they come out and you're just like, oh, why have you done that? The split stat thing being an example, right? One thing they say is that they say the economy is in a good place right now, and I don't necessarily agree. They do say they want more gold sinks, which I actually do agree with, but really the economy it's sort of in an okay place, but only because crafting is sort of taking so much gold out of the economy, I think. But yeah, like, I don't know how you can say the economy is in a good place when you have companies still raking in millions and millions of gold, and then you have plebs who are trying to desperately like catch up. I just don't, big doubt on that one, if I'm honest. So he does sort of mention how he thinks that the new zone might bring players back, and again, I sort of have a bit of a big doubt there. I don't think a new zone is necessarily going to be the thing that gets people back. However, it really depends on what's in the new zone and what kind of new experience are they offering. Are they going to offer like open world PvP hotspots or something like that? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But if he's optimistic, I don't know if it's just like PR speak or something, but personally I don't think we're going to get massive amounts of players back until we get a new expansion or some massive change. And I don't think a new area is necessarily the big enough change. He spoke about how he enjoyed the emergent PvP gameplay in Great Cleave, but didn't really speak about why they then nerfed it, which I'm sure is a big question for some of you guys out there who are also enjoying it. But yeah, they were just some key points that I saw a little bit on Reddit, and as far as I've got in watching it myself. But yeah, so that's some big news and some little updates. Nothing really that impacts our current lives, I guess, but I think possibly information that we're going to be relevant in a couple of years. Like, we're not going to see a new MMO from Amazon for at least 3 to 4 years, I would guess, and even that I would say might be optimistic. So you don't have to worry about New World way before then, because they've already done all of the groundwork. They're not going to throw away the work they've done. They're just going to start adding content, do a marketing PR push at some point, and see if the players will come back. But I do think moving away from Lumberyard probably a good thing for them in the long run. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye. I just winked and I really need to stop winking. It's weird.